German island of Ilha de Queimada Grande is home to one of the most dangerous snakes. From a distance, it seems like any other island in that region. But this 4.6 million square foot outcrop is the only known habitat for the Bothrops insularis, also known as the golden lancehead viper. There are a lot of them here too, with estimates suggesting as many as 4,000 of the snakes writhing around the island searching for food. Growing up to 46 inches long, the golden lanceheads get their name because of their distinctive pointed heads. They're the dominant predator on the island, and even the Brazilian Navy avoid it at all costs, only daring to venture there to tend to the automated lighthouse that was quickly built in 1909 before the workers fled. It's not known for sure how the snakes ended up here, but the prevailing theory is that they were trapped when the sea levels rose 11,000 years ago. Due to their isolation on the island, the snakes have developed the fastest acting and most deadly venom of any snake in the world, and if a human were to be bitten, they would need immediate medical attention to treat the rapidly melting flesh and high probability of visit here if you dare, but you might not get out alive. Number 4. The Sentinel Islands. The North Sentinel Island lies in the Bay of Bengal and is one of the last places on Earth that humans live unconnected with the outside world. The tribe, known as the Sentinelese, have lived here for almost 60,000 years, and they don't like visitors. The island itself is pristine and unaffected by modern machinery. It's covered in thick forest, and the coast is surrounded by vibrant, unexplored reefs. The indigenous people have been recorded throwing arrows at low-flying aircraft and helicopters, and any attempts at communication have been rejected with force. Even following the devastation of the tsunami in 2004, they were seen aiming arrows at an emergency rescue helicopter, an act that was taken as evidence that the tribe had survived and should be left alone. Because of their isolation, very little is known of the Sentinelese people. They're hunter-gatherers who move and live in different parts of the island depending on where the food sources are, and there are between 50 and 500 of them. Number 3. Chernobyl. 6th of April that year, the nearby nuclear power plant was conducting a systems test on its 4th reactor, but something went terribly wrong. There was a sudden surge of power, and when the emergency shutdown was initiated, a further surge occurred that triggered a series of explosions. The core of the reactor became exposed and caused a fire that sent a plume of highly radioactive smoke into the atmosphere. This plume drifted across large parts of the Soviet Union and across Europe and turned Chernobyl into a wasteland. The Soviets tried to cover up the incident, but when the radiation alarms were set off at the Forsmark power plant in Sweden, more than 1,000 kilometers away, officials had no choice but to own up to what had happened. The event would be one of only 2 to ever be classified as a level 7 event on the International Nuclear Event Scale, with the other being the Fukushima disaster in 2011. Today, there's a 19-mile exclusion zone around the reactor to prevent people from coming into contact with the most radioactive area that will take hundreds, if not thousands, of years. Number 2.